You think you're missing out, don't you? All those parties, those gatherings, those endless conversations about nothing. Let me tell you something. The truly intelligent person isn't avoiding social life because they're broken. They're avoiding it because they've seen through it. Look, we have this idiotic notion that mental health means being well-adjusted to society. Well-adjusted to what? To a society that's collectively insane? Jung said it perfectly. Show me a sane man and I will cure him for you. Because sanity, as we define it, is nothing more than successful adaptation to collective delusion. You go to these social gatherings, what happens? How's work? Fine. How's the family? Good. Terrible weather we're having? Yes, terrible. And you go home feeling empty, like you've eaten a meal made of cardboard. Why? Because you've participated in a ritual of mutual lying. Nobody said what they actually thought. Nobody revealed anything real. The intelligent person sits at home reading a book, and people say, "Oh, how sad, they're all alone." Alone. They're in conversation with Nietzsche, with Dostoevsky, with minds that actually have something to say. While you're discussing the weather, they're grappling with the nature of existence. Tell me, who's really alone? Jung understood something fundamental. Individuation, becoming who you truly are, requires separation from the herd. Not because you hate the herd, but because the herd hates authenticity. It demands conformity. It says, be like us or be cast out. And most people are so terrified of being cast out that they cast out their own souls instead. Listen to what happens at your next social event. Really listen. It's all persona talking to persona, mask speaking to mask, the lawyer playing lawyer, the mother playing mother, the businessman playing businessman. Where's the human being? Buried under 20 layers of social expectation. And the tragic part, most people don't even know they're performing. Jung called it the participation mystique. This primitive psychological state where you can't tell where you end and the group begins. You laugh when they laugh. You get angry when they get angry. You think you're making choices, but you're just a cork bobbing on the ocean of collective emotion. And you call this connection. It's the opposite. It's dissolution. The introverted, intuitive types, the real thinkers, they can't stand it. Not because they're antisocial, but because they're desperately social in the truest sense. They want real contact, soul to soul. But what do they get? Weather talk, sports scores, celebrity gossip. It's like being desperately thirsty and being offered a cup of sand. So they withdraw. People say, they think they're too good for us. Number, they think you're too good for this charade. They're waiting for you to drop the act, to say something real, to risk being seen. But you won't, because being seen is terrifying when you don't know who you are. Here's what kills me. We diagnose the withdrawn intelligent person as having social anxiety or adjustment disorder. Adjustment disorder, as if the problem is their failure to adjust to insanity. Maybe, just maybe, their anxiety is appropriate. Maybe they're anxious because they're the only ones who notice the building is on fire while everyone else is discussing the wallpaper. Jung spent his life studying the collective unconscious. And you know what he found? That most people never develop consciousness at all. They live their entire lives in unconscious identification with the group. They're born into a role. They play the role. They die in the role. The curtain never comes down. The show never ends. But the intelligent person, the true individual, they step off the stage. And suddenly they can see it all. The scripts, the lighting, the desperate improvisation of people who've forgotten their acting. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. Every social gathering becomes a theater of the absurd. Come on, people say, don't be so serious, have fun, lighten up. But how do you lighten up when you're watching people sleepwalk through their lives? How do you have fun pretending to be unconscious? It's like asking someone to enjoy being chloroformed. The shadow, Jung said, is everything we refuse to acknowledge about ourselves. Well, the intelligent person's shadow isn't dark, it's light. It's all the depth, authenticity, and reality they have to hide to fit in. They spend so much energy dimming themselves down to acceptable levels that eventually they just stop showing up. And here's the beautiful irony. By withdrawing from false community, they create space for true community. By refusing to participate in collective unconsciousness, they become beacons for other awakening souls. They're not antisocial. They're holding space for a different kind of social, one based on truth rather than pretense. You want to know why intelligent people don't care about social life? Because they care too much. They care so much that they can't bear to see it trivialized. They're not rejecting connection. They're rejecting its counterfeit. They're not choosing isolation. They're choosing integrity. So the next time you see someone alone with a book, or walking by themselves, or sitting quietly at the edge of a party, don't pity them. They're not missing out. They're holding out for something real. And in a world of performed connections and scripted conversations, that might be the most social act of all. The question isn't why intelligent people avoid social life. The question is, why does social life avoid intelligence? Answer that, and you'll understand everything.